Hey loves, welcome back to the channel. So today I thought that I would go ahead and do a plan with me. I decided to do a voiceover for this because usually when I just go ahead and do them outright, what ends up happening is I forget, it becomes boring for me. So I was just like, how about we just film it, just let me go ahead and do my thing, and then yeah, I'll just do a voiceover to it. So basically, I got questions about would I ever be interested in doing plan with me's, and so I'm trying to get back into the swing of doing them, but I'm really not into plan with me's only because I just feel like there's nothing special about my plan with me's at most. But yeah, right now I'm testing out this traveler's notebook from Wanderings. I got a couple of questions about that too. I got it from the actual website, which is Wanderings, but there are a ton of places apparently you can find it. You can find it on Amazon, obviously. You can find it also on Etsy. I went directly from the website though. So I've been using this alongside my Loisturm, and I gotta tell you, I do like it. I did order some 100-page booklets that should be here Monday. So I might be, even though I'm planning in it now, I might be changing my daily book and that blank book that I have in the front. I might be changing that to two of the 100-page booklets, only because the grid for my daily book right now is really dark, and I'm like this. The book that I'm talking about is this book that I'm getting ready to write in, but it's like really dark. Like I have to thumb through in order to basically read what the heck is written down. And I like the way the paper feels because the paper is very nice. Despite the dark grid, is very nice. Um, I don't know. It's just I can't get with the dark grid. I just don't like the dark grid. I might keep it just for the month of April and then swap it out when April is over. But I kind of want my quarter to be in the same book, so I might end up changing them to the lighter grid anyway. So basically my planning routine is very straightforward and straight to the point. I try not to make it too complicated for myself because too many things just like my brain doesn't function with that. So right now, the things that like really wrap around like my planning system or my planning routine is like I have a little food journal, which we saw in the first clip, that I've started this month, and me and my husband, we're doing it together, and basically we just track everything that we eat, and it's basically for me to kind of figure out what my diet is actually like and what may be contributing to my A1C levels, because like I had said in like recent videos, I have to get my A1C numbers down because um diabetes. But anyway, so yeah, I have that little food journal that I've been tracking food in for the most part, and that has really worked out for me. Um, in the past, I used to do a whole lot more with how I used to track, but now I just keep it very simple. I don't write in. I was initially, and then I just was like, I can't do this. But I was writing in like carbs and stuff like that, and I like to modify a lot. So yeah, it didn't make too much sense for me to keep up with that. I know that would be helpful, but it can get very tedious. Um, and then the second part of like my like sit down plan with me for the evening is like you saw, I go through that thing that I call the ICDT method, which is like considered like your rolling weekly, or in the actual term like Alistair method. But I don't actually use like the Monday through Sunday like in those boxes. So I label it ICDT and then star, which basically I put on the screen that, I stands for in progress, C for canceled, D for done, T for transfer, and then the star is for anything that is super important. I'll usually go through that first because there's a lot of little stuff on there that I try to get done throughout the week, which is super important to me. So I try to focus on that task or those things on that list first, before adding anything to like my daily pages, because my daily pages will always consist of somewhat of the same sort of thing. Like it'll always have like medications and routine based stuff and like small reminders or things that I need to do for a day specific. But alongside that list, that master list that I have at the start of the week will have things on there that typically wouldn't be on there every single week. So I refer to that first, go through it, see what I've done, check off anything that I didn't do, and transfer what needs to be transferred. So like I said, I've been piggybacking off of the Leuchtturm. So right after I did this little plan with me, I kind of filled out my Leuchtturm. But I wanted to show you guys how I basically transitioned from being in the A5 Leuchtturm into this standard TN situation. So my system is set in stone. It really doesn't matter what kind of thing that I use, whether it be book bound, whether it be a dated planner. I already have a system that basically consists of the same things throughout. I don't really necessarily have to do too much or too many things to it to tweak it to get it to look a certain way. Everything basically just works out because I never stray too far from that. So yeah, that's basically like what I do in a nutshell. It's just like go through stuff and then write out whatever I need to do. So initially, when I started doing the ICDT method, I started doing it on a monthly basis, and I felt like that was just too hard to keep up with because I was dumping things in there throughout the month, and then things just kind of got jumbled. So I transitioned it into being a weekly task list, and that works a whole lot better for me. So that's basically what I'm doing here is I'm just setting up like another weekly task list. And yeah, I would say that this is the thing that I use and refer to the most when I'm planning. I definitely refer to my daily pages without a doubt, but I definitely find that dumping out things as they come to mind, when they come to mind in this area, it's just beneficial for me, especially because I have short memory. I just forget things. Like I could be thinking of something now and I could just automatically forget. So yeah, outside of that though, the standard traveler's notebook, I almost forget that at some point in time that I really enjoyed this size. And yeah, it baffles me that I never thought to ever return back to standard. It just blows my mind that I've tried everything else except for returning to standard. So yeah, I'm basically just doing what I've done in all my bullet journals. I'm doing the same thing in here. The only thing that I would say is that with the TM booklets, I do feel that with the way that I like to plan and the way that I like to journal and combine the two, I do feel like I will definitely run through these little 60-page booklets very fast, which is why I opt for like 100-page booklets. And I'm learning that there are more booklets out there that have like 160 pages, and then of course everyone knows Sterling Ink makes the 520-page books. I don't think I'm quite ready ready yet. But nonetheless, yeah, plan with me's are just like they're just straight to the point. I know that I'm not big on decorating, but I do like to use some things, and there will be times where I use like stickers, specifically like the icon stickers. Like I love the phone number icons, or not phone number icons. What? The phone symbol icon stickers and like exclamation point stickers and like little things that kind of draw attention to specific topics that I might write in my planner. Those kinds of things I love to use, and occasionally I like to throw down like some deco stickers because they do kind of break up the monotonous of your pages looking the same every single day, every single week. So I definitely don't wean out stickers, but I don't use them as often or as frequent as you might see in some of the other plan with me. So if that is something that you're looking for, I do apologize, but I am definitely I'm not the sticker heavy plan with me type of person. And a lot of you have expressed to me that you really enjoyed these sort of plan with me's because it kind of shows you like the entire process for what it is without the fluff. And I try to remember that when I'm making these videos, but I always say, like, maybe after one or two, you might not want to see them anymore because they may just become very, very boring. Um, and I try to speed up parts of the video where I think might drag, because when I did this plan with me, I didn't basically film it with the intent of talking through it. I just turned my camera on and did my usual planning. And, we were talking in the background. So I was like, definitely have to do a voiceover for this. So, yeah, I hope you guys really, really enjoy it. So while I'm doing the voiceover, for this video, I'm actually in the process of looking through like my TM booklet and trying to decide if I want to switch everything from this darker grid. And I think it's so messed up because I just literally sat down and did the plan with me yesterday. But I'm like, I really don't like how dark the grid is. I do have some dot grid ones also from Wanderings, and I think that those are beneficial. And definitely these booklets, without a doubt, are much more cost effective than the booklets that I purchased. But I'm not mad at them. They're really nice and they feel really nice. So I'm not really mad at them. And then I'll get a lot of use out of them because they are 100-page booklets and I have 3. So I really do like that in itself. But yeah, I'm trying to decide. Oh, and if I didn't mention this, there are Tomoe River paper notebooks. And yeah, I really, really like them. I'm not super huge fan of Tomoe River paper, only because I feel like it just subjects me to using one kind of pen because I'm not really a fountain pen user. And then on top of that, I use gel pen and stuff like that. So that's the only thing that I feel like it might subject me to. But outside of that, I'm not really big of a fan of the Tomoe River paper. I do like the thinness of it, and I really love the thinness. But if I had to say today what my favorite paper is, it's definitely the Loistern paper. I just like it. I like the cream. I like the lightness of the dots. I just like the way that it feels in my hand. I just love it. But anyway, outside of all of that, I hope you guys are enjoying the content. Lately, I haven't had a lot of content to share, to film, and I've just kind of been sporadically doing things. There are things that I would like to share, like I want to do a learning binder. I want to show you guys how I put together this learning binder, but at the same time, I'm just like, I just want to do it for my son because that's something that I want to personally do for him. And there are other things, like I have collections of notebooks that sometimes I think about maybe I could share those with you all. And, maybe there is some ideas as to what kind of notebooks are out there because I have a big, big collection. I never know what to film, and I try to think about stuff that I can film. I've also been, even though I have said that I don't necessarily want to kind of go back to my ring bound system, I often do think about it. And sometimes I do sit down and just finger through the pages and, play with it and like think about setting it up because it really did help in terms of like just everything being together and I didn't have to do so much transferring and all of that. But I also think that being in a bullet journal just definitely allowed me to have a little bit more freedom and allowed me the creativity with my planning system because I like to do I started noticing rather that I like to do all of this kind of like journaling. Like I like to do taping in of pictures and quotes and like comic strips. I like all of that stuff, and I didn't really think that that was the kind of thing that I would be into, but I really enjoy it, and it makes my daily pages look a whole lot better. So yeah, I definitely appreciate that kind of part of my planning process, but I don't know. Um, I think about my ring bound system, and I just think about like, am I really gonna be happy in it? I was happy in it for 2 months, and then I was really itching though to get back into a bullet journal. So I don't know. But outside of that, I really don't have much for you guys. This little weekly book that I'm writing in right now is from Peter Popper Press. I ordered these booklets from like Amazon. I want to say like when we were living in Altus, if you guys remember, when we were living in Altus, like almost 2 years to date, I had ordered this and like a budget TN, and I absolutely love Peter Popper Press's like faux traveler's notebook inserts. That's why this insert isn't exactly standard. It's because it's not necessarily made for this size traveler's notebook, but I love their inserts. I think out of all the inserts that I saw in terms of like weekly, this one is my favorite. Mainly because it's a weekly for the entire year and not just specifically for 6 months, and it does have the monthly, like their sort of monthly overview. I don't know what that's called, like a perpetual calendar. They have that, which I do like, because essentially you could just use this book and that could be it for you. You wouldn't, if you don't need anything extra like note pages or nothing like that, then this could essentially be your planner. But I love their stuff. I didn't mention this when I did my like 10 update. I redid the weekly though. I have a bunch of these little weekly booklets, and I redid it because it was a way that I wanted to redo it. And then I was gonna white it out, but then when I went ahead and decided that I was gonna date the whole book, I dated a good chunk of the book wrong. So I was like, there's no way I'm going back to white out, redo. I wasn't doing that. And I didn't even want to slap stickers on it because that just would have took more time. So I ended up redoing the book, and that all worked out. That worked out really good. However, yeah, I didn't disclose that when I filmed it. So my apologies if you guys were looking like, oh, it looked a little bit different. But yeah, that's basically what happened. Outside of that, I'm really enjoying the standard TN size. If you guys are hearing like that clicky sound in the back, it's because I'm currently sitting here trying to round the corners of this TN book that I had got today. Because they came rounded, but they weren't rounded in the way that my actual TN was rounded. So, or I'm sorry, that didn't make no sense. They weren't rounded in the way that my actual booklets that I have in my TN were rounded. So I'm rounding them to all match because I'm that kind of person. Um, Gotta have everything to match. But yeah, I tried to speed up a lot of the parts in this video because I didn't want it to be really long and drawn out, and I wanted to basically just show you like what I do when I'm setting up my week. It is very, very simple. There are a few other things that I do, like you will see. I do update my trackers and stuff every night. I do that every night, but I also sit down and I also look at them and figure out what's what every week. Especially like since I'm working on fitness goals, I definitely focus on like my fitness stuff at the end of the week. A lot of that I didn't do in this video only because it was already so late. It was like at least I want to say it was like 12 o'clock. It might have been like 12 o'clock. But yeah, it was already really, really late. So I just, I didn't do that here, but definitely something that I usually do. But yeah, you guys, that's basically like the plan with me. There's nothing else that I do outside of that. I am gonna swap. I'm thinking really hard. I am gonna swap into those 100-page TN booklets. I'm already setting them up, as you heard in the background, and I'm gonna do that. I'll give you my thoughts on, like, the setup and things like that. And I'll try to come up with new content and all of that stuff. I kind of want to do my ring bound setup too. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Even if I don't use it, I just want to set it up because there's always a possibility that I might go back to it. But I don't know because I'm having a lot of fun with just regular TNs and notebooks right now. So there's that. But I thank you guys so much for taking time to just listen, hang out with me, and just like watch the video. I know a lot of you are new and some of you are returning, so I appreciate all of you regardless. But yeah, I hope that you all have a wonderful rest of your day. And thank you again for taking time to hang out with me. And I'll see you guys in the next planning related video. Bye, loves.